जय कृष्ण। मम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण Hare Krishna. I'm really sorry there was some problem with internet. Hare Krishna. So I was saying that how it is very important to understand what is bhakti and what is karma. So the difference should be understood very clearly. Very simple difference, but it is very difficult to apply. In Karma Yoga also you have to do for Krishna. And Bhakti Yoga, it is not like that. Bhakti Yoga, the fundamental understanding only is different. The premise is on basis on what we work is different than karma. Karma, I identify that I am the husband, I am wife, and I am a citizen of the country. I am a Brahmana, I am a Kshatriya, I am a Shudra. This identity is very clear in Karma Yoga. Because I identify as a Brahmana, I do my activity as a Brahmana. I identify myself as a Kshatriya, then I do my activity as a Kshatriya. So, so that identity is very clear in Karma Yoga. But in Bhakti Yoga, we change identity only. Naham Vipro, Nacha Narapati, Napi Vaishyo, Na Shudro, Naham Varnicha Grahapati, Na Vanasto Itirva, Kintu Prokta Nikila Paramananda Purnam Ritaptibhir, Goper Bhartor Pada Kamalayor, Dasa Dasana Dasa. I act as a dasa dasana dasa of Krishna. Gopir Bhartor Padakamalayur. So any activity I am doing, I am conscious I am servant of Krishna. Whereas if you come to other paths, you are conscious that you are a Brahmana. You are conscious that you are a Vaishya. You are conscious that you are a husband, your wife, your child. So that consciousness is very prominent in karma. In bhakti, I am servant of Krishna. That is the consciousness with which we work. So this is the major difference between karma and bhakti. The fundamental difference only is changing. So why am I speaking class? Not that I am a Brahmana, I have to give class. I am servant of Krishna now. I have to speak about Krishna. Why are we doing deity worship? Oh, I am servant of Krishna. What can I do? Why are you cooking? Because I am servant of Krishna. I have to offer something for Krishna. Why are you taking care of your family? Why are you doing job? Because yeah, I'm servant of Krishna, and Krishna kept me in this situation. So let me do something for Krishna, and so that I will get some time to do so much for Krishna. So I'll earn some money. I'll just maintain the family so that I'll get more time for Krishna to chant, to read, to hear about him. So ultimately, I am just servant of Krishna. I need to do everything for Krishna only. Whereas in Karma Yoga, you identify, oh, I am a Brahmana, no? I have to do Brahmana duty. I am a Grahastha, so I should do Grahastha Dharma. I am a husband, so I should do the responsibility of husband. I am a wife. So there is an identity that is so much different in Karma Yoga, whereas Bhakti Yoga, the identity is itself is different. So this is the main difference we need to understand when it comes to Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. People think that uh, it is all same only. It is not same because when you know what you are, then you act accordingly. If I think I am a brahmachari, I act as a brahmachari. But if I think I am servant of Krishna, I'll act as servant of Krishna. Why am I brahmachari? Because it is favorable for me to serve Krishna, that's why I am brahmachari. Why am I grihastha? Because it is favorable for me to serve Krishna, that's why I am a grihastha. Why you want to take vanaprastha, why you want to take sannyas? Because it is favorable so that I can serve Krishna. As a vanaprastha, I can do service to Krishna very nicely. That's why I want to do. And because I am vanaprastha, whatever rules of vanaprastha are which are all favorable for me to serve Krishna, I'll accept all the rules. What are favorable for a brahmachari? The rules of a brahmachari, which are favorable to for me to serve Krishna, I'll accept it. So please understand this fundamental difference that in Karma Yoga, it's actually not easy. It's very tough because you have to follow so many rules and regulations. But you identify as one of these things. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very clearly, Naham Vipro Nachanarapati. I am not a Brahmana. I am not a Kshatriya. Na Vaishyo na Shudro. I am not, and is Naham Vipro Nachanarapati, Napi Vaishyo na Shudro, Naham Varnija Grahapati, Na Vanasto Etirva. So I am not a sannyasi, na brahmachari, na grahastha, vanapastha. I am only servant. When this identity, so now to become servant of Krishna is very difficult. So then let me start become a servant of my spiritual master. Let me become his servant first. Then by serving him, I get trained to become Krishna's servant. Because Krishna's servants are in spiritual world. They are all most exalted personalities. How will I be qualified to enter into spiritual world and serve Krishna? So let me practice by serving a representative of Krishna. So first identity I should get is I am servant of my Guru. If I get this identity, then it is possible to go to the spiritual identity. I am servant of Krishna. So that's why Guru is so much needed because he helps us to serve Krishna properly. He will train us to serve Krishna. That's the name we need to surrender to a Guru. Because surrender to Guru basically means what? Surrendering our false ego. Surrendering false ego means surrendering our identity. What is the surrender means? Surrender means I am surrendering my identity as so and so and so and so. I am big engineer, I am boss, I am rich person, I am very famous, I am intelligent, I am sharp, I am this, I am handsome, I am ugly, or whatever identity we have. Just give up that identity, accept one identity, very simple identity. I am servant of my Guru and start doing service to him. That's all. Life is perfect. It's a prasadat Bhagavan. This is the fundamental difference. If you know that I need to work on only one thing, on pleasing my Guru, I, and what all favorable to him. If it is pleasing to him, so we do. Book distribution, because it is pleasing to him, I will do. If he pleases that I become very humble and I develop nice Vaishnav qualities, I will do that. If pleases if I every day morning hear Bhagavatam, I will do it because my Guru will be pleased. That's why I hear Bhagavatam. That always I am conscious of my Guru, that I do it for him because I want to be his servant. That will help us to make progress. So ultimately, we have to give up that ego that I am doing something and accept that ego that I do for the pleasure of my Guru all the time. Now we are sitting in Bhagavatam class. The purpose of it is because my Guru will be pleased with me. I am his servant. I just have to serve him. I just have to serve my Guru. This consciousness, this identity always is. Then what happens? Now, then, when auspicious or inauspicious, we don't bother. We are only bothered about what pleases my Guru. That's why we are bothered. And who will protect me? Arre, I am servant of Krishna and I don't have any other identity. Then no need of bother about any other demigods or anything because I already accepted one identity. And Krishna says, Arre, he is accepting as my servant, so why are you bothering him? So nobody will bother us. We just have to be always this conscious. I am servant of Krishna. I am not a Grihastha Vanaprastha. This is how we make the difference between Karma Yoga. Otherwise, Karma Yoga is also, they are also doing for Krishna, but they don't give up their identity. They say, "Are in Karma Yoga also, I also give all the fruits to Krishna only. And we are also doing for Krishna." But what is the difference? They identify themselves as Grahastha, Vanaprastha. I am a Bharati. I am Jai Sri Ram. I know I have to follow Dharma of India. I am Bharati. That is all karma because you are identifying yourself Bharati. You are not a Bharati. You are only Bhopir, Barto, Kamilo. You may be in America, Australia, Europe, Russia, or anywhere. I am just servant of Krishna. This is the identity we need to have. Otherwise, we are just caught up. I need to vote for my country, this, that. This is all wrong identities. That is not, it is all karma because the fundamental formula only is different. The formula which we write to solve the problem itself is wrong because I'm identifying, I don't know anything other than Krishna. I am only servant of Krishna. I don't know anything. I just have to serve Krishna. I want to please him. I don't know anyone. I don't know any demigod. I don't know anything. I only know Krishna. And Krishna Ananyas Chintayan Tomam. I just want only Krishna. And my guru is telling me this is only thing, and I am just doing that. Yojana Paribhasha Tesham Nityabhyuktana Yogakshema. Whatever Krishna does to me, no, that's what I want. No, Sarva Dharman Paritidya Mam Ekam Sham. Krishna, I don't know anything. I only know you. And this is what, whatever help make me to remember you and serve you, let me do that. I want to, no, Asat Sangat Tyagi Yehi Vaishnavachar. I don't want any other association. I want to be with your devotees and always remember you, serve you, please you, and develop a love for you. So simple formula, but very difficult to apply because we have to become servant of Guru, which is so very difficult. That's why yesterday when we heard this sloka of Janaka Maharaj, it's actually pure karma yoga. Janaka Maharaj, when he told these two people that you will be killed next day morning, and then they were given so many nice food items and nice place to stay and nice everything. They could not enjoy. And then they were told, okay, take this bucket around the city, whatever drop should fall, otherwise you will be killed. They said, and then Jangamara, so did you see all this nice fun that is happening in the city? The people are enjoying because it is a holiday. They said, no, we cannot do anything. We just are focusing on the water, otherwise we will be killed. Jangamara said, this is how I live every day. That's why I am called Videha. Generally, Videha means nobody. Demigods or some bhutas, they are called Videha because they don't have material body like our body, gross body. That's why they are called Videha. But Janaka Maharaj, why he is called like that? He says, because I am always conscious that it all belongs to Krishna. Because I am conscious, then I don't enjoy. I live in that luxury, but I am always conscious because as soon as I forget, I know I'll be killed. That is my last day. So I am always consciously doing it, not affected by anything that is happening. So this is how the Karma Yoga is done. That a person is so conscious that it is all belong to the some Supreme Lord, and I just have to perform my duty. Now, when you say duty, as soon as you say duty, you have an identity that I am a Brahmana. I need to my duty. But it's such a tough thing. No, is any activity you are doing, my sarvani karmani, you cannot enjoy the fruits. I said, okay, at least let me take the credit. I have done the activity. Now I gave class. So why can't I say I gave the class? You cannot take the credit. Krishna is no, material nature made you your vocal cord, and then you are given this some type of mind and intelligence it perform. It's all Prakriti is doing. Atma is just only an observer. So this is what is going to protect. If we have this proper understanding that it is not me who is performing, it is all happening by Prakriti, and I am just only the instrument in this activities because of my desire. These things are happening. That will help us. That will help us a person to free from this karma. That's how, because the identity. So the very moment when a person begins to think that everything depends on me, then who is attached to the fruits of his labor, he becomes the cause of action. Otherwise, is not the cause of action. As soon as I think that I am the doer, then only cause of action. Why it is like that? Because it forms that karma, it forms that sanskara. The impressions are formed when I start thinking I am the doer. When a person is attached to the fruits of labor, he considers the reason for his actions only himself. And he does not take into account all other factors because there are five factors that depends. He means everything depends on me. And this is what happens. Like we discussed the example of a Brahmana who planted the garden. So now when he killed, he said Prakriti did. But when he was asked about garden, he said, no, I only did all this garden. So then what happens? Then because you have this mentality, so the actions will not cause the problem. The doership mentality caused the problem. That's what we need to understand. But when it comes, so that is the reason we need to understand what is karma yoga properly. And that's then anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karma dhanavritam. We have to give up jnana and karma. In karma, what we give up is most important is the identity. That's the reason people have this problem. Prabhuji, my ancestors did this, my ancestor did that. I had to do this duty, I had to do that duty. First of all, you give up the identity with your ancestors. Our ancestors are Goswamis. You don't identify with your family tradition, you identify with our acharyas. Because identity has a problem, then that's why you feel the problem. I feel obliged. I want to maintain the tradition of my family because they're identifying with the family. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu don't identify with the family. You are Gopir Bhartor, Padakamalyor, Das, Dasa, and Dasa. You are servant of Krishna. That is what is identity. If I have that identity, then I don't. What I need to do for the family, yeah, whatever bare minimum, you do it because it helps you to favorably practice Krishna consciousness. That's it. Nothing else. So the point here is, when a person is attached to the fruits of his labor, he becomes the cause of his own actions. And since he becomes the cause of his actions, each action carries an endless series of consequences, and not all of them are good. So, if you become the cause of action, you have to bear the consequences. If you say, I am the doer, finish. That's how we are caught in this world. Like, where if a man swells with pride for his work, he must understand one simple thing, that the simplest thing Krishna is trying to explain in that there are not you, there are five different causes of activities. There is divine providence, Daiva. Krishna clearly tells that. That is in an illusion we start thinking it is depending on me. It's not possible like that. The If you want to understand this example, if you see the final cricket match of India, don't see that. Means I am telling the scenario I am telling. So many Indians are very sad that they lost the match. Now it is not actually in their hand. It is Daiva that decides. That they don't understand only. They are thinking, "Arre, this made mistake, this made mistake." Nothing made mistake. They didn't work hard. They worked hard. But why they didn't get? Because Daiva didn't want. And why I got affected? Because I am attached to the result, that's why I got affected. That is very simple to understand, right? So this identity is the crisis. Identity crisis we all have. Like we cannot protect anything. We cannot protect our children or our parents or doctor cannot protect. That's why it is said that most superstitious of all doctors are traumatologists. Because they always understand this, that if person comes from accident, if minor injuries he may die, major injuries is in coma, he will just survive and he goes to home also. That's why when they purchase anything, they want to purchase any small thing also. They are very superstitious. This is no, this will not work. This is not work because they all experience this. Even though they are not sitting on Vyasasana and they don't say don't be envious, but they are the first person because they understand that there is some other force that works in this world. That's why they are able to live like that. So they are now, but the point is we forget this. That is the reason we have to every day. What is purpose of chanting? Chanting is just reminding I am servant of Krishna. Whole day I have to serve Krishna. I am just servant of Krishna. Krishna, please engage me in your service. Why am I to be engaged in Krishna service? Because I want that identity. Identity in the spiritual world is only one identity. We are servant of Krishna, we serve Krishna, we please Krishna. We hear, but we should know the difference in karma. Then that identity becomes very clear. Why we always have this question of varnashrama, karma, dharma, everything, because identity crisis. That's why we just have to identify as servant of Guru. Then things are quite easy. Like, uh, yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, first of all, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Such a wonderful explanation, Prabhuji. Though we have heard it thousand times, but somehow something went inside. Prabhuji, according to your explanation now, no, Prabhuji, then it is so clear that devotees need not get stuck with Varnashrama, Dharma, and that samskaras. All these things are defining the identity only, no, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
So is it not very clear that if we take this as Idya Mahaprabhu's statement that you are not a Shudra, you are not a Vaishya, you are not anything, you are just a Gopi, Partupada, Kamle Das, Anadas, Anadas, then if that is been understood, if we take it deeply, we realize this, then we will not get stuck with all this. There are so many doubts among devotee community, no, Prabhuji. We are all struggling. So every time when you as a preacher, you will come across this question often, no, Prabhuji. So when we really internalize this, then it will be much better, no, Prabhuji. Like all these doubts will vanish if we are just fixed in this process.
Actually, we tell every time we are servant of Krishna. But what happens now? We all tell from the beginning of our preaching to the new person, we say this: we
Mm,
are servant of Krishna. We have to serve
mm,
Krishna. We have to please Krishna. That is
mm,
that part we do nicely. But what is the mistake we do now? We add karma and jnana to it. That's what is to be removed. The philosophy what we speak is right. What is the problem we do now? We mix karma and jnana. How we mix karma? By giving a wrong identities. Arey, I am do your dharma. What is my dharma? Oh, you are a brahmana, you are a kshatriya. So that identity also should be given up. That karma part you should
mm,
remove from people's mind. That is not
mm.
devotee's mind. Also, this is still stuck. That's
Yeah,
why.
because even from senior devotees, I hear often, Prabhuji, just don't imitate pure devotees. You are all the neophytes, just few years you're here, so you should not skip those. I have heard multiple times from senior devotees, even Prabhuji. That is why I'm nowadays hearing Balam Shakti Prabhu lectures and your lectures. I'm understanding something very differently and deeply, Prabhuji. If I really want to if I really want to go deep in this process, then I should give up all those things only, no, Prabhuji.
Yeah, we have to properly know like Prabhupada disciples. Why did they make progress? They don't know karma jnana. They only know Prabhupada. That's why it's
Hmm.
very easy for them.
Hmm.
They came. Everybody has only one slogan. Prabhupada said. That's all. They want to please Prabhupada, give pleasure to Prabhupada. Whatever they did, they don't know any karma jnana because they don't have any other identity. They had only one identity. You know,
Hmm.
they love Prabhupada and they know we just have to please Prabhupada. That is the reason they made so much progress. But what happens now? And due course of time, I know what Krishna tells that. Kalina, no, yeah, sorry, what is it that, uh, uh, in due course of time, the contaminations come in the philosophy. So,
Hmm.
so that is how it is happening. So in Yoga
Actually,
Nashtam,
Prabhuji, the point is the mixed devotion point of view, Prabhuji. Like only after hearing such sessions, we are very clear that mixed devotion means we think that pure devotion alone is not enough, and we should take up like what others think the karma jnana part also they should take. But mixed devotion part, what Vadam Shakti Prabhu explained from Kapila Siksha is if your goal is different other than Krishna Prema, then that is mixed devotion, na Prabhuji.
yeah, yeah.
Mixed devotion means only that, not that taking a karma jnana don't even come under the that even don't even come under pure devotion in any point there, no Prabhuji. It is not coming under our process at all. At least taking up bhakti, but if your goal is still material desire or liberation, then at least it is called mixed devotion, Prabhuji. So what I realized today morning is taking up karma jnana don't even come near even these two, no Prabhuji. That from Shuddha Bhakti and mixed devotion is lesser than that, no Prabhuji.
Whatever is your rule. See, Mataji, if somebody says, okay, you do pranayama, it is for you, it is good for your health, and it will help you to concentrate on holy name. For me, not a
Hmm.
problem. I can do it because
As
for me, I'm
Anukul is a
already
Sankalpa, I
identifying
can
as a
accept,
servant of Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Huh?
As Anukul is a Sankalpa, I can accept, but
Uh,
not as
because,
a.
because I am already identifying as a servant of Krishna. So
Ah, ah.
activity I am doing, I always think that I am servant of Krishna only. So I'll not have
Hmm.
problem in what activity I am doing because the identity
Hmm.
is not a problem. See,
Correct.
to identify yourself as mother, whatever is favorable for your child to make, you will do everything. You may go to
Correct.
shopping also. Some people may take up some job because they need more money for the child's education. Some people will do
Hmm.
so many things. Mother will do because she always identify as a mother. She will
Hmm.
sometimes fight with the neighbor. They are not doing any behavior with so she will do everything because her only motive is my child should be very happy. So the identity does not go for her. Even in the dream also, you wake up every time she identifies I am mother only.
Hmm.
So if I
Hmm.
am identifying as servant of Krishna all the time, in the dream, in the awake, in the all the time I do only an activity. That is a pure devotee. He only does only thing for Krishna. That's why sometimes we cannot understand their activity. Arey, why he is doing such activity? He's supposed to be a devotee. No, for him, he has this identity that I am supposed to please Krishna. So he always does that only. That's why we cannot immediately judge a pure devotee because his activities cannot be understood because inside he is always wanting to please Krishna. So he may feel that this will please Krishna, so he may do it. So we cannot judge a pure Vaishnava in that way because that consciousness does not go only for him. And I am servant of Krishna only. For me, I had to meditate that I am servant of Krishna all the time. Otherwise, I forget. I will start doing my own things. And suddenly I remember, maybe I should serve Krishna someday. That is the
Hmm.
problem for us. So once when you come to a state where you need not separately endeavor that I am servant of Krishna, your default as servant of Krishna, that is Nishta stage. He said, yes, chalo, Haribol.
Hmm. So beautiful, Prabhuji. We are so fortunate to be in this process, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare.
Yeah, I'm speaking because I not that I'm doing it. I want to do it. That's why I'm speaking. So don't misunderstand. Because the we need to be clear with the philosophy. What exactly we are supposed to do. Then what happens? At least we aspire for it, and one day we may achieve it. Now I'm conscious. I'm speaking at least this much time. Yes, Prabhuji. Gopinath.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandas Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisance. Prabhuji, I had a question. See, you are, of course, many times we have heard that whatever we do, we have to do for, so that it pleases our Guru, it pleases Srila Prabhupada, it pleases Krishna. Like that we say. Now, when we are doing some activity within the home with family members, at least we get a response. We see their expressions, then we understand, okay, they are pleased with my action or they are not pleased with my action, like that. So when it comes to pleasing Krishna, how do I make out, okay, this is pleasing to Krishna? Is it the by I go by shastras And for that also, I may not know full vast shastras. Like these things, if we do, it pleases Krishna, like that, theoretically, like that. Or you got my question, Prabhuji?
Yeah. So we will know how Krishna is pleased when devotees around us they are pleased with us, when Guru is pleased with us, and we ourselves feel some satisfaction in the heart. These are the indications
Indication. Oh,
that
okay.
Krishna is pleased. So we should start pleasing the devotees around us. We should please our spiritual master. Asya prasada, Bhagavad prasada. When you please Guru, then Krishna is pleased. And how is Guru pleased? When we please the Vaishnavas, when we start serving his mission, do something for him, dedicate our life for him, then the Guru is pleased. In that way, we please Krishna also.
Okay, okay.
That is the
Thank
criteria, not something rocket science, simple.
you. Okay. Thanks, bro. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, because I have to cover purports. I will take this topic tomorrow. We'll continue. Of course, Prabhupada is also telling the same points in the purport also. He's talking about this in the previous purport about how the instruments of ego and everything is there. But Prabhupada has some more nice points to share in further purport. So we'll take them also so that it will be, we can try to see what Prabhupada is telling the same thing because we didn't understand there is some fundamental mistakes we make. What is the mistake we do is we tell what is pure bhakti, we don't tell what are the contaminations that enter into bhakti. That's why we make mistakes. Like we need to clearly define what is karma and jnana, otherwise it get mixed up with bhakti. Why devotees have all these problems and questions is they know what is pure bhakti, but they are not understanding that we are mixing with karma and jnana. That's why they are confused. But when we know it clearly, then when we read Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita purports, where he is telling Krishna consciousness, then we can properly see what Prabhupada is trying to tell because we have understood the definitions clearly, the fundamentals. That's why Balram Shakti Prabhu says, before reading Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, first read Nectar of Devotion because you want to clarify what is pure devotional service definition. Once that is clear, then all other things will become easy to understand in life. There will not be any much confusion. So we'll just take few purports, which Prabhupada is very, very nicely. This purports, na, that's when we start knowing the understanding becomes very clear. I am servant of Krishna. Then you'll will start relishing Prabhupada's purports. They become more and more sweeter because our identity became very clear for us. So if I am clear with my identity, then all things becomes very sweet. Our devotees relation become very sweet. Serving deities become very sweet. Bhagavatam becomes because I know where I am servant. So I become very excited that wow, I am getting to serve them. I am getting to serve Bhagavatam by reading Bhagavatam. I am getting to serve the holy name by chanting it. I am getting to serve devotees, my spiritual master like that. So here we are getting opportunity to serve Bhagavatam by hearing. So this is because I am servant, I am serving. So what should be more pleasing to a servant? Because his service is itself is a pleasure for him. You don't need anything separately. That is what pleases him. But Prahlad was asked by Narsindev, what do you want? He said, I am not a businessman. My position is always serving and your position is master. I am happy serving you. That's all. This is Etad Bhagavato Rupam Sthulam Te Vyahritam Maya Mai Adibis Cha Varnanair Ashtabhir Hir Avratam. He says, thus by all this, the external features of the personality of Godhead is covered by gross forms such as those of planets, which are explained to you by me. So the previous places he explained. And Prabhupada writes very nice. As explained Bhagavad Gita, the separated metal energy of the personality of Godhead is covered by 8 kinds of metal covering earth, water, fire, air, sky, mind, intelligence, and false ego. And all these are emanations from the personality of Godhead as his external energy. These coverings are just the coverings of the cloud of the clouds for the sun. The cloud is a creation of the sun, yet it actually covers the eyes so that one cannot see the sun. The sun cannot be covered by the clouds. The cloud can at at most extend a few hundreds of miles in the sky, but the sun is far greater than millions of miles. So, a 100-mile covering is not competent to cover millions of miles. Therefore, one of the various energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot, of course, cover the Lord. But these coverings are created by Him to cover the eyes of the conditioned souls who want to lord it over material nature. Actually, the conditioned souls are covered by illusionary covered creative cover cloud of matter. And the Lord reserves the right of not being exposed to those eyes. So now this is very important point. You see, if I am servant of Krishna, then Krishna says, okay, I'll remove this Yoga Maya curtain for you. Naham Prakasha Sarvasya Yoga Maya Samavrita. So this is a covering. And Krishna is telling, don't worry. If you are serving me all the time and you want to be my servant, no problem. Then you can see me. Because they have no eyes of transcendental vision and they cannot see the personality of God. Therefore, they deny the existence of Lord and the transcendental form of Lord, the covering of the gigantic material features. So now, when we hear, we are excited. Oh, Krishna is so sweet. He is doing such trick on these people. So the way we look at Krishna will become different because my boss is always good only for me. I like my boss. My boss is Krishna. Whatever he does is best. Whatever he is doing, that is whatever he is doing for me is also good, even though apparently I may not like it. This is why he is giving me such an authority, such a wife, such a husband, such a boss, such children, such house. Why my things are not good? But Krishna is good, so whatever he is giving me is also good only. So we see in relation to Krishna, so whatever happens to us is also good only for us because he is giving. I may not like it, but because Krishna is giving, I have my boss is always I like my boss. So that's why whatever he gives is sweet only. That is why devotee does not have any problem with what happens to him in his life. Because he is fearless. Why fearless? Because he loves Krishna. If I don't love, then it is like a cat carrying a mouse. If I like, it is cat carrying a cat. So he knows where to keep me, how to keep me. He take care of me. I need not bother about it so much. I just have to think of him and Yogakshim Amen. He promised that he will take care of me. Kaunteya Pratijanehi Name Bhakta Pranashta. Krishna said, I'll take care, so why need to bother? Let him, whatever he wants. Like that. So the what happens is all the our principles becomes very clear. The fundamentals are very clear for us. Don't bother about any other astrology, this that. If Krishna wanted that way, then why I should be bothered? According to astrology, after 30 years, if I am supposed to get some very terrible disease, okay, let it be. If Krishna want it, why I should? He knows this is good for me, so that I'll go back to God. Whatever I'll get purified, whatever happen. If it is good for me, so just accept it. Sometimes it is very painful. Then we pray to Krishna. It is very painful. Reduce the pain, or give me the strength to tolerate the pain. Either of them we can pray to Krishna, but we should pray only to Krishna. That is what is very important. No need to go to anybody. This is a mistake we should never do. Atah param sukshmatamam avyaktam nirvisheshanam anadimadya nidhanam nityam van manyasah param. This is therefore beyond this gross manifestation is a transcendental manifestation finer than the finest form. It has no beginning, no intermediate stage, and no end. Therefore, it is beyond the limits of expressions or mental speculation and is distinct from the material conceptions. So, how is something which is does not have beginning, end, and middle also? It is just everywhere. That's why people say the absolute truth is impersonal because it is everywhere. If everywhere is there, what is the form? That is the problem. And Prabhupada is telling the gross external body of Supreme is manifested at certain intervals, and thus external features or forms of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not the external form of Lord, which has no beginning, no intermediate, and no end. Anything which has beginning, intermediate, and end is called material. The material world is begin from the Lord, and thus the form of Lord being the beginning of the material world is certainly transcendental to the finest of the fine material conceptions. So now when we know, oh, my master is like this, so I am very excited. My master is not having beginning and middle also. That means it is not material, it is spiritual. That's how Prabhupada is telling to understand. The ether in the metal world is considered to be the finest. Finer than the ether is our mind, intelligence, and policy. But all eight are the outward covering are explained as the outer covering of the absolute truth. The absolute truth is therefore beyond the expressions and speculations of material conception. Is certainly transcendental to all material conceptions. This is called nirvishesham. One should not, however, misunderstand nirvishesham as being without any transcendental qualities. Vishesham means quality. Therefore, nir added to it means that he has no material qualities or variegatedness. This nullifying expression is described in four transcendental qualities, namely unmanifested, transcendental, eternal, and beyond the conception of mind or word. Beyond the limits of word means negation of mental conceptions. Unless one is transcendentally situated, it is not possible to know the transcendental form of the Lord. अमुन्नी भगवत् रूपे मया ते हि अन्वृणीते उभे अपि न गृह्णति माया सृष्टे विपश्चितः. This is neither of the above forms of the Lord or just described unto you from the material angle of vision is accepted by pure devotees of Lord who know him well. So this form is universal form. Devotees are not so much interested. We are directly interested in the personal form because I can do something for him. What is the problem with universal form? Arjuna also saw universal form. Everywhere it is there. Everywhere we can, it is, if you get divine vision, the demigod vision. Arjuna says, wait a minute, I don't want this because I cannot do anything. How can you do arti for Virat Rupa? Not possible. You cannot dress him. What type of dress you will put? But as a personal form, I can dress him, I can do arti, I can apply, I can give bhoga, so many things we can do. So for devotees, that is the impersonal thing, the absolute truth in two different ways. As above mentioned, one on the one hand, they worship the Lord in his Virat Rupa or all pervading universal form. Other, they think that Lord's unmanifested, indescribable, subtle form. So one is Brahman, one is Virat Rupa. So this is how they understand. The theories of pantheism and monism are respectively applied to these two conceptions of the supreme or as gross and subtle. Pantheism is universal, monism means impersonal. But both of them are rejected by the learned pure devotees of Lord because they are aware of the factual position. This is very clearly mentioned in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which Arjuna explains. So Arjuna is telling, oh, Drishta Purvam Arshito Asmi Drishtva Bhaye Ch प्रवर्तितं मनो में तदेव मे दर्शय दृश्य देव रूपम प्रसीद देवेश जगन्निवास. He says Arjuna is a pure devotee, never previously saw the contemplated universal form of the Lord, but when he did see, his curiosity was satisfied. But because of his attachment as a pure devotee, he was not happy to see that form. Indeed, he was afraid to see such a gigantic form of Lord. He therefore prayed to the Lord to assume his four-handed Narayana. So this is what Arjuna felt. Thus, that is not needed for us. We say, okay, that is good. Lord is everywhere. Very good. Haribol. But I want Krishna in my form only. We are interested. So the non-devotee impersonalists imagine material form of Lord and ultimately they merge into the impersonal Brahma Jyoti. Whereas pure devotees of Lord worship the Lord and they enter into spiritual. Therefore, the pure devotee of Lord are described as vipaschita, learned, who are no perfect knowledge they have. Savaja vyacha kyataya bhagavan brahma rupa drik nama rupa kriyadatte sakar ma karma paraha. He says that as the personality of God manifests himself in the transcendental form, being the subject of his transcendental name, qualities, pastime, entourage, and transcendental varietedness, although he is unaffected by all such activities, he appears to be so engaged. Whether there is a need of material creation, whenever there is need of material creation, the transcendental personality of God accepts form in the material world for creation, maintenance, destruction. One should be intelligent enough to know his activities in truth and not be biased to conclude that it descends to the material world by accepting a form created by material nature. Any form accepted for the material nature will be affected by everything done in the material world. Very important. Any form accepted for material nature will be affected by everything done in the material world. A conditioned soul who accept a material form for undergoing certain term of material activity is subjected to law of matter. But here in this verse, it is clearly stated that although the form and activity of Lord appears to be same as those of conditioned souls, they are supernatural, impossible for conditioned soul. He is the supreme. So even the Lord has this universe form, but it is not subjected to the laws. Namam karmani nimpanti namai karma phale spruha itima yo abhijanati karma bhir na sabbadyate. So Krishna is very clear. Even though he comes, it is not going to affect any laws for him. That's what. And okay, we will. Any questions, comments? We have maybe 2 more days. We can complete by this week. We can start third kid. Tomorrow it will be complete. My 10 shlokas. Any questions, comments? Thank you all very much. We will continue discussion with some more examples, trying to understand Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. Tomorrow I'll add some more points. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki